2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Friday show, June 20th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, 84,000 subscribers on that platform. If you're watching on X, good afternoon to you. Braylon out today. I believe he's playing in the Charles Woodson golf outing in Ann Arbor today. Lots of great Go Blue Michigan Wolverine action last night at the Charles Woodson event. Tom Mazaway up in the big chair today. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
What up, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Everybody.
Good to be seen and not viewed, right?
Happy Friday to everybody.
Yes.
Yo. Happy Friday. Oh. Very nice.
Indeed, a happy Friday.
Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns with us. So
What's up?
I hate to go back to this well almost every day I work these days, but the parking situation in Birmingham is so bad. It's like I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. And so there's spots out here on Woodward, and if you don't get a spot, it could set you back like 6-7 minutes, whatever the case may be.
Lucky.
And there's a turnaround on 15 in Woodward.
Oh, yeah.
There's this turnaround.
That's great.
And when you're coming north. When you're coming north on Woodward, and you look across the median, and
It's
you
like a
see a
mirage.
spot.
It's a mirage.
You see a spot. It's open. It's open.
I got it.
You will do anything to get that
I
spot.
want to cross the median
Listen,
sometimes.
I
I
totally
want to go
understand
to
that.
oncoming traffic sometimes
I have
to get that spot.
I have crossed another story about that, but I like speed up, and there's cars coming southbound,
Oh, yeah.
southbound on Woodward.
And this is like a highway, Woodward.
Right.
and it's the first highway.
It was.
It is the first
And
highway.
so my eyes are on this spot in front, and I'm gripping it as
anxiety.
much as I could. And I peeled out in front of this truck. I put my life on the line and just gunned it in order to get that spot.
You ever go over the curb?
I have.
Yeah, you have
I
gone
have
over the
gone
curb.
over the curb to get a spot. And I'm telling you, like, I'm a 46-year-old married father of two. I've got 2 jobs.
Man, I wish I was 46.
I'm pretty smart. I have my flaws and everything, but I'm pretty smart.
I'm smart.
I just risked it all for a parking spot.
It's like
Yeah.
that sometimes.
And like, why do we do that? Why do we do that? I just risked my entire life, and probably somebody else's,
The truckers.
to make sure I get that parking spot.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Detroit thing, man. That's just how we are. I was having a discussion the other day with a guy who's not from here about driving downtown to park because he takes like the Q line and stuff. I'm like, nah, I'll just go downtown. I'm gonna find me a
Right.
spot.
It's unbelievable.
Listen, this
the
is
way
the
it
truth.
is.
The other day, maybe it was Tuesday, it wasn't the best day for me. I'm driving in. I drive into this little island area here where there are maybe 6 spots
Yeah.
in the entire area. Okay? And I pull in the front area because I didn't think anything was back here. So I saw a spot behind me.
Yeah.
So I put it in reverse. Up comes this other car coming like you,
Oh, it's the
90
worst.
miles an hour, gets in that spot as I was backing in.
Done that.
All that, yeah.
And I just sat there and I'm like, I want to get out of the car and punch whoever's in this other car. But I know I had passed it, so I kind of lost my right to it. I regrouped.
They still stole
I
your
went
spot.
out. I got out. I went past the light, down to the next set, right past Jack's Car Wash.
Uh-huh.
I'm pulling into the spot. 1 spot left. Another guy pulls out ahead of me and gets the spot. I'm talking about within 30 seconds of each other. And then I go around the block, and I'm coming down here again. I see another spot. Someone backs out and gets that one as well.
You gotta be quicker than that.
I pulled over, and I had to regroup because I was so...
Right. Yeah, no, for real.
I went like this. I pulled over by Jack's, and I prayed.
It's like gambling.
I prayed.
We gamble
I'm
every
like,
day.
Lord, just give me the patience. Take this. I don't want this pressure. Take it away from me, please. I went around the block, I wound up parking in the garage. There was one spot left in the garage, and I got in the garage.
Yesterday it was free for Juneteenth.
Yeah, it wasn't even. It wasn't.
That's why it was full.
Yesterday it was free.
So I feel you, man. There's a spot out
Oh
here right
my
now. I've
God.
got the
almost wanna go
willies
get
looking
it.
at that
Right
spot
behind
behind you right now.
I know. It makes you sick to your
It
stomach.
does.
It
It does. I'm
Like,
down the block.
I feel terrible. Like I don't know if I've ever felt like this. Maybe it's because like we work here and we know this parking situation is literally a do or die situation. What is the it's a Hunger Game situation? Literally,
Thunderdome.
Now, if you've ever experienced like Birmingham or a place like it, you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Maybe you're watching this and you have no idea what we're talking about, how it can mean so much to you and so much to your day. But I'm telling you, prior to working here, and I started here 4 years ago now, I don't think I would truly be interested in this conversation. But now, after experiencing this Hunger Games situation on parking spots for 4 years, I am like beyond obsessed with the parking.
Go a half a mile down. I want to go to have a great slice of pizza. My buddy Sam, he owns Brooklyn Pizza.
Oh,
Try to park around there.
Oh, good. No,
Oh man.
You think this is bad? That's worse.
but at least I would assume over there you're coming as some sort of customer.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
It's a little bit easier as a customer.
I guess.
When you work in a situation like this, and yes, we can go park in the garage, but paying for parking every single day.
It eats away at you.
It does eat away at you, and you're like, oh, God, I hate paying to park.
Yeah.
How many of you people out there who are watching us or listening to us have to pay to park? I mean, it kind of sucks. You kind of feel a little gross doing it. And a lot of times that place is full anyway, so it's not even an option.
And it's a tough garage.
terrible.
Terrible
horrible
garage.
garage.
You have like an inch to go around
Right.
each turn.
Right.
Remember the time? It was last summer, I believe. They were redoing the garage.
Yep.
And it's one of those garages, Peabody Garage.
Look how lucky that guy got.
Pulled in.
Guy
How
just
lucky
got
this
lucky.
guy got. This guy just got
Is that a
so
Maserati
lucky.
that just pulled in?
Ben, it's a Beamer.
This guy.
Hey, lucky,
You're
lucky
so
bastard.
lucky, son of a gun. This guy here walking, he just got a spot. So lucky. But so I was in the garage, in the Peabody Garage here on Brown Street.
Right.
That's Brown, right?
Yeah.
That's Brown, yep.
Brown Street in Birmingham is credit. There's no people. There's no people. Credit card in, clocks your time. Credit card out, use the same credit card, your time out, you pay. Fine. It got me in. My credit card, the credit card reader on the machine would not read my credit card
Right.
out, which means I can't get out
And you're blocking traffic.
on a Friday
Yep.
at 4:30.
Yep.
On a
You got
Friday
12
at
cars
4:30.
behind you cursing at you.
I mean, I am getting mother, you know
Yep.
what, 4:30 on a Friday. And not only that, I get out and now I'm thinking,
You sure it wasn't 401?
no, this is a year ago.
Okay, here we go. 359.
Right. No, now it's 3:58.
Yes, I know.
But so I'm getting so mad, and I'm thinking about physically, like breaking the
Like The Rock.
the thing. And I'm screaming in the window. No, press the button.
No one's
Nobody's
answering.
talking. Nobody's answering me. I call the city. We'll have somebody out. But that's after being on hold.
We'll have somebody out. I'm sitting
We'll
here
have
with
somebody-
20 cars
right.
behind
We'll
me.
have somebody out. What does that mean? I'm pounding on the machine, pounding on it. And then
my.
ultimately, I don't even remember how the story ended up, but it was 20 minutes of waiting there, first car, before that thing popped up.
How close
I
were you
got-
to breaking through the gate?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I
Yeah.
got one that'll make you feel better. When I first started here, it was winter time, and one guy was trying to hit the button to come in, so he's got a block of cars coming. Push the button. I'm leaving. I'm looking at him. I'm like, hey, take your gloves off.
Yes.
He had his gloves, so he couldn't push the button, so he's just sitting there. Cars
my
honking.
God.
Oh, I felt so bad for him. So at least that wasn't your fault.
No, but I'll tell you, if you've ever been to a game downtown, and we've talked about this before.
This is tough, too.
It's why you can't park in a garage. Now, I'm not even talking about a malfunctioning. I'm not even talking about a malfunctioning card reader, which this at the garage here in Birmingham was clearly a malfunctioning situation.
Yeah. Right.
But we have seen instances. I've been in garages myself where I've been over an hour to get out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just recently at a Pistons game, just regular season game,
Yeah.
weekend game. I wasn't even at the Pistons game. I was downtown eating. And then the other one was Lions Monday night game a year and a half ago against the Raiders.
Oh yeah, you're out
Don't
there.
bother when you park in a lot like that.
Yeah,
and you leave after the game. Don't bother going back to your car. Just go, relax, walk around downtown, have a drink, go back in 45 minutes to your car.
Right.
Add that to your time because you will just sit like he is saying. So if you're smart, not smart, just leave your car there and walk around. My wife and I do that often when we go to the Tigers game on a Friday especially or a Saturday. Just walk around downtown, chill out, and then go up and the garage is empty. That's how you do it.
Funny,
so
man.
bad.
Yep.
It is.
Well, sorry we took all your time up for parking.
Right.
But-
I just,
God.
I just turned into a different person.
Yeah.
Seriously. And my mood walking in here is different too. And
We rooted for you. I saw that spot.
Yeah.
Me and Ricky. Oh, yeah, he got it. We clapped for you. He got
for
it.
you, man.
because you knew the show was going to start on time
Yes.
today. That's
We're
why.
rooting for you.
Guys, let's get to some baseball now. Tigers with a doubleheader yesterday. They'll be in Tampa tonight to face the Rays. More on that
hot
in just
Rays.
a little bit. But we'll revisit yesterday's game with the Pirates. They split in that first game. Tarek Skubal did what Tarek Skubal
Yeah.
does.
Through the rain.
Exactly. He gets the win, and the weather was a factor.
It was.
And they just feel like they are just such an impressively
They are.
good whole baseball team. I posted this last night, but after last night's loss to the Pirates, and I really wanted them to win because I like round numbers.
Of course.
80 and 40
Yeah.
if they would have won.
Yeah.
80 and 40. Instead, in the Tigers' last 120 games,
79 and 41.
79 and 41. 38 games over 500. This is what this team is. And last night, after the rain delay, they come back. They're down 4-2. They tie it up 4-4. Colt Keith with an Oppo homer. You think they're going to come back and win it. I thought in extra innings
They got
last
screwed.
night, they
Again.
did. Why even have
I
the
agree.
replay
I agree.
if you say it's not conclusive? I don't know how much more conclusive you can get.
He was out.
And I'll tell you, I didn't care for what do you mean from the one angle you can't really see? I thought Benetti and Dirks, I didn't
Yeah.
know what they were seeing.
I don't know.
But I'll tell you.
If you call him safe, you got to overturn it, right? If you call him out, you got to overturn it. So I guess it is what it is. And that's what happened in game one, if you remember, against the Dodgers. Against the Dodgers. The Tigers scored. Remember, they jumped over Will Smith, touched home, and they called him out after the replay, which was a crocker, you know what. So that's 2 games in extra innings, in 10, that they've lost on botched replays. And the reason that A.J. Hinch started Tarek Skubal in game one, he wanted to get the win.
Right.
I complained. I wanted to see Skubal against Skeens. We all did. But you know what? Get the win. And then the bullpen game against Skeens, they hit Skeens. They hit him hard. He went through 6. He left with a 2-run lead, and then the bullpen blew it for him. This poor guy hasn't won a game in over a month, and he has got one of the best ERAs and strikeout to walk ratios in the league. Top 2 in the league.
Which further proves, Maz, when you're talking about extending a pitcher and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and I know I've got my rule that I'm not going to be talking about specifically Tarek Skubal extension, but nonetheless, Paul Skeens is a perfect example why you don't pay all that money for a starting pitcher. Is he not?
I don't know about that. I know what you're saying.
Why-
Because he's with a very bad team.
Let's just say the Pirates. Let's say the Pirates re-sign Paul Skeens for $400 million.
Yeah. It doesn't make them a better ball club, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you have one of the best top 3 pitchers in the game.
I understand. I just, I look at Pittsburgh and I say, what a waste of a career. It's almost
He's
like
just started.
Yeah, but I don't have any faith that they're going to turn it around. It's just like the L.A. Angels to me. Think about the L.A. Angels who had
Trout.
Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani for 6 years.
Yep.
And in 6 years.
Was Ohtani there that long?
How many playoff appearances?
He was?
I believe it was 6 seasons.
Holy crap.
How many playoff appearances did they have? 0.
Wow.
And it's amazing that you can have that kind of greatness and just waste them. And I guess if you're a Lions fan, you understand that.
Oh, God.
Barry Sanders, Calvin
Calvin.
Johnson. I think you've got to add, to be honest with you, Matthew Stafford into that mix.
Agreed.
I mean, the man went on to win a Super Bowl elsewhere.
People will complain and say it was his fault, though.
Right, exactly. But nonetheless, let me just get a Shohei Ohtani just so before I even move on here.
Flaherty goes tonight against the Rays. Rays,
6
of course,
seasons.
play in that Grapefruit League.
Wow.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. I was right.
Nice job.
Unbelievable. Played over 100 games in 5 of the 6. 155 games, 157 games.
Don't forget he pitched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, guy was incredible. 6 seasons.
Wow.
So you had Trout, and Trout was always hurt. But, I mean, just goes to show you, it really what I'm trying to really say is what the Tigers are doing and having this, just the sum of the whole is incredible.
Yes.
Every part about them is so solid.
Don't forget, they started Trey Sweeney and Jake Rogers in that second game. And Jake had 2 hits against Skeens. But I'm saying they didn't have Dingler in there. They didn't have Javi Baez in there. They had guys that weren't playing earlier that played in this game. So they kind of threw that game to the Pirates, and they still almost won the damn thing.
Right.
Pretty good.
I love the extra inning base runner on.
Oh, I love that.
I seriously, I know it rubs some people the wrong way, but
not me, and I'm a baseball junkie.
No doubt about it.
I would do it in the playoffs.
I would too, actually.
I would.
I know Jake Rogers got a lot of heat last night. I looked at my X account and I was tweeting about the game, and he was getting criticized for the way he was positioned, not blocking the plate. But you can't block the plate anymore.
He's a very good catcher and a terrific defensive catcher.
You can't block the
He's
plate
not as big as
anymore.
Dingler, though. Dingler, takes up more of the plate.
Right. I think they try to take the collisions out of the game.
Yeah.
And that's why they did that.
They did.
The Tigers go into Tampa tonight, and
but how about these Pirates? They had a fight out in, I think it was it left field?
Left field,
bullpen,
yep.
yeah.
Behind the
Right field.
bullpen.
Left field.
It was left field. The bullpen.
Left field, behind the bullpen, yep.
The bullpen pitcher that was in the Pirates is arguing with a fan that was wearing a Pirates jersey
Right.
Really?
and a Tigers hat.
Yeah,
Right.
number
Interesting.
21 Pirates jersey.
Right.
That's Roberto Clemente.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he he swiped at him. He tried to throw a punch at him. And then in extra, or it was the 9th or 10th innings,
extra
innings, Tommy Pham
Yeah.
gets
he was
in it with a couple of fans. Look at this. This is in the home plate club. This is the Ritzy section. Now you see that guy with the hat we just passed and his son? That's Doc Macaroon.
Doc!
Right there. We're going to have Doc on in a few minutes. Right to that kid's left is Doc Macaroon and his son. So we're going to have him on. We're going to find out what the devil happened in the home plate club. Of course, we'll talk Lions with Doc as well. But how funny is this? Tommy Pham, he's got issues, Tommy Pham. He does. He's got anger issues. He's been on a lot of ball clubs. He's a good ball player, but he's got anger issues. And he always looks angry. You ever see him? He never smiles. Always looks locked in. Great athlete. I do like him. But really, I can't wait to talk to Doc and find out what's happened. That's Doc and his son right there.
First of all, I'm looking forward to talking to Doc myself. First of all,
There
though,
he is.
you cannot swing at a fan.
No.
No.
Like,
Unless the fan
listen to me. Listen
swings
to me.
at you?
No.
I don't know.
Right here, we're watching it right now. This is not the NBA. The NBA, I could see it. You are right here, face to face, nose to nose. You are right on the court. I could understand it there. I can't understand this
Agreed.
if you're the player.
Agreed.
I don't care what was said.
Right.
I don't care what name was hurled. You have a wall right there blocking you. You have height blocking you. You have a bullpen room that you can go in. You have access to a security guard that you can go talk to. There is no reason for the player to engage with that fan. None. And absolutely no reason whatsoever to swing at him.
100%.
100%. So I don't get that one. Fam, soft.
Soft.
Yeah.
Totally soft. And again, I don't care what was said to him.
He's playing
There
on
is
a bad
There
team.
is a net right there.
Right.
And we see this a lot in rain delay games. Because in rain delay games, you know what you don't have? Fans. Fans leave. Sporadically, you could hear every single word being said.
Yep.
Every single
Everything.
last word being said. Whatever was said here, again. Fam is on deck. He's not even at the plate. Did you see O'Neal Cruz?
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz, who was at the plate, was cracking up.
Right. He just thought it was.
He was
Right.
dying. He's like, what is going on here?
But
Right.
listen,
Go home.
these players were there probably from noon. No, before noon. The game was
Yeah,
supposed
the
to
game
start at
started
1.
at 1, yeah.
They were there probably at 9 a.m.
Right.
And here it is, 9 p.m.
Right.
And they're still getting wet, trying to finish a game, and they got a bunch of fans, a couple of fans howling at him. There is no excuse. But you know what? He had it at that point as well.
He was hacked off.
Oh, my God.
We're gonna talk to Doc Macaroon about that. There's so many ways I wanna hit this with him. So we'll get him on the line momentarily. But
Good stuff, man.
I'm telling
we haven't
you.
even talked about the NBA.
no, and look,
Good for the Pacers, baby.
that was awesome, was it not?
Yes.
The Indiana Pacers with a blowout from beginning to end to stay alive, and finally we get a great Game 7 in the NBA.
First time since 2016.
I am so pumped for this now. If nobody watched the series before, you do have a reason now to watch.
Right.
Sunday
And
night.
basketball gets the stage front and center. Nothing else on at that time, and here you go.
OKC. It's going to be unbelievable. That ticket is going to be the hottest ticket they've ever had down that way. And I think the Pacers have a puncher's chance. They're 9-point underdogs already. So you already know. What did I tell you yesterday? That spread dropped to 5.5. Braylon said, hey, that's yours and Ryan's magic number.
Yep.
The underdog wins most of the time when it's 5.5. This is 9.5. So it could be ugly. It could be OKC in a runaway, but I give the Pacers credit, and I give your guy, Rick Carlisle, a lot of credit. He got this team playing with a guy, Tyrese Halliburton, 14 points yesterday, playing on one leg.
Here's what I'm going to do for everybody, okay?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to do everybody a favor. Do everybody a favor right now. Indiana's going to win Game 7.
No.
They're going to win the game
I hope so.
for two reasons.
Wow.
First reason is Rick Carlisle. So they've got the best coach to get them ready in a Game 7. Carlisle, by far, is not only the best coach currently in the NBA, I put him, Rick Carlisle, as a top 5 coach over the last 40 years in the NBA. That's one. Number 2, all the pressure to me is on OKC.
Agreed.
OKC has all the pressure on them. Indiana comes. Nobody expects them to win. They have been an underdog in every game this finals. There has never been a team to win the NBA Finals after being an underdog in every game in the finals. So that would be a first. And that also tells you what the expectation is. The expectation is that this is going to be a blowout for OKC. And still, OKC is a very young basketball team. For as good as they are very young.
They haven't won yet.
They have never been in this position before. And I don't know why people think that they're just going to show up on Sunday night and wipe the Pacers off the floor. Indiana will win the basketball game. You could take that to the bank. Hot take alert.
For the
Hot
ABA,
take.
baby. I hope you are right, man. I want to see a great game. I'm going to be locked and loaded on Sunday. I might watch
No
the
doubt.
whole game.
I'm going to as well. I will as well. So, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll talk to Doc Macaroon coming up next. But first, a message from Van Giel. Johnson.
That's right. It's Ben Johnson, the fighter. Justice, it means different things to different people, but whatever. It's a settlement or a verdict. Justice is always worth the fight. If you got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law. Do it today. Get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. Ben Johnson Law.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Beligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Calling all Tiger fans, join us for the White Claw Tigers Tour. Woodward Sports will be hitting 4 of the top Detroit bars to watch Tiger games live with you on the network. Join the whole bunch, the whole crew, coming up in a couple of Sundays. June 29th, our third stop on the tour at the Old Miami in Detroit. That's Sunday Night Baseball, by the way, on ESPN. Be part of the fun. See our live reactions on Woodward Sports. It's the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson Law.
And let me tell you about Buddy's Pizza. Guys, we're going to be there on Monday. We are really excited for this. Get ready, Detroit. This Monday, June 23rd, taking over Buddy's Pizza downtown, National Detroit-style Pizza Day. Join the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show live from 2 to 4. Woodward Sports Network. Come down, meet the crew, celebrate the birthplace of Detroit-style pizza. It is the last day to get the 79 special. Their iconic 8-square Wisconsin brick cheese pizza, topped with 79 Old World pepperoni and Parmesan. Buddy's Pizza downtown, Detroit, June 23rd. Buddy'sPizza.com.
See you Monday.
All right, guys. Look, this was an awesome thing to watch last night on TV. I just kept tweeting soft.
Let's
soft.
get ready to rumble.
Oh, my God. How soft is Tommy Pham?
Poor Tommy Pham.
And then the more you're looking into this, It's freaking Doc.
Doc
Macaroon is somehow involved. He is right there in the thick of it. And joins us now, Doc Macaroon, Detroit Sports Podcast, SI.com. Doc, welcome to the show, my friend.
What up, Doc?
Fellas, it's a great Friday. First and foremost, if Ryan's like that, then you would get pointed at by Tommy fan. You would get the finger too and be like, what is going on with the fans heckling the Pittsburgh Pirates? But I want to say this. I was not thrown out. I was not the target of Tommy fan. But if you point your finger at the Doc, you know I'm going to stand up and say something.
Oh, my.
Hey, Doc, he needs you because I know this is your job to help people that are angry, upset, whatever. Tommy Pham needs you.
Yeah, no doubt. Wasn't he the guy that got into it with a teammate for freaking fantasy football? This guy is the epitome of soft. And the reason why everybody got upset with him is that it was after an hour-long rain delay that everybody was ready to go home. And look, we can be honest here. We're among friends. We were drinking, and we were having a good time for the course of 5 hours. Ryan, now you know, now having seen that I've been in the home plate club, they give you a lot of food, and they give you a lot of drinks, and that's why I sat in those seats for about 4 of the 9 innings, but I definitely wanted to see what was going on in the 9th and 10th inning. It's wild to say, but maybe I should have took the advice of my 15-year-old nephew and stayed in the Tiger Suite and kept eating. But I was like, no, it's competitive. It's the 9th and 10th inning. I want to go see what happens. And look what happened. A player is pointing at the home plate club, and now half the world who didn't really watch the game then, it would appear, because I was still there after everybody got thrown out. I was one of the people posting the videos of the people getting thrown out, yet I'm getting blown up. I must maybe present a Middle Eastern anger syndrome or something where people thought I was the one that triggered Pham. But in the end, it was wild, but it was definitely fun to be a part of something like that. But yeah, I was a fan standing up to him and really in the end saying, hurry the heck up, man, focus on the game, not the fans booing you because your team stinks.
Hey, Doc, what was said? What did tick him off?
Yeah, no doubt. Now, this is the funny part. So, myself included, we're shown on this massive screen there at Comerica Park, the replay. And from what you see on one of the state-of-the-art screens, from what we were looking at, it appeared that Jake Rogers tagged Pham. We all saw it, and it looked like, we all thought, no doubt about it, they're going to do a replay, and it's going to come back and be out. And it comes back safe. Now, we didn't have no TV replays. We're all just watching the same replay over and over and over that shows him out. It looks like he's out. Now, maybe there's other stuff that you guys got to see at home.
No, he was totally out, Doc. Doc, he was totally out.
Exactly. So from that moment, the fan base went livid. And I'm talking about, you can hear, if you rewatch the game, right when Pham starts pointing, you can hear expletives and the fans just yelling and being upset at the umpire, being upset at the Pirates. They just kept getting worse and worse and more frustrated because there was a true feeling that the Tigers got robbed. So the fans were livid and they were cussing up a storm throughout the at-bats. And so something was said clearly that probably was inappropriate. But in my humble opinion, Pham handled it totally incorrectly by escalating the problem. You don't throw out fans and point. What you do is you're a professional. Your job as a professional is to turn your head and focus on the pitcher. Try to get a little extra nugget of information. Try to get a little extra and not be focusing on the fan base. So I thought he handled it totally incorrectly. I felt like the fans should not have been thrown out. And look, at the very least, if you're a paying customer and you say something that's inappropriate, then you just, get moved to a different section and still enjoy the game. There was only 10 minutes left anyway. But Pham totally escalated the problem by acting like a sophomoric athlete that couldn't handle names being called at him. That's the first part of the job. When you sign your name, you realize fans are going to, especially from the opposite side, read the room. You didn't think that the fan base was going to be pissed after seeing the replay and seeing the call that was made. The fan base was pissed. You just shut your ears off, focus on what you need to do, and take the win and leave out the door. That's in my opinion, the job of a professional when you ink your name to all that money is to take some heckling from some fans, because guess what? There was a net there. What was going to happen? Nothing was going to happen. There was a big, huge net protecting us in the home plate club from you. So I thought he escalated the problem by pointing out whatever the heck he was hearing and kicking out fans. That's totally inappropriate, and I think that's something that I just don't like when athletes do that.
How about what happened out in the bullpen? The Pirates pitcher going after the fan that was wearing the Roberto Clemente jersey and a Tigers hat. I don't know what was said back and forth, but you cannot swing at a fan like that guy did.
That's the easiest thing, Tom, is to show self-restraint, is to just act like you didn't hear it and keep it moving. I've done interviews where people, like literally in this whole situation, I'm the one that's being labeled as somebody that was a triggering person. I'm not. I smile. I go on interviews with people that are doing it, and I say, look, I just go at it. And actually, I posted about it a couple days ago. Sports are fun. People are going to make references. They're going to say things in the context of an interview. If you're going to get upset and frustrated over things that are said, then you're going to put yourself and your team in a very, very unwelcoming light. That's something that nowadays you're also setting yourself up for fans to sue you. You're setting up another situation for a league to have a similar incident like Malice at the Palace. So if you're an athlete, it's real simple. I know it's tough, but I'm an expert at it. When someone says something to you, even if it's offensive, even if it's at the lowest of the low, bringing up family, you turn your head, you mind your business. It'll continue to happen. You have no influence over what liquored up fans are going to say. And only now what happens is when you do that, here's the byproduct. When you do that, all you're doing is setting up more people to continue to do it, to say, oh, I got him riled up. The easiest thing to do is diffuse it, ignore it, go about your business, prepare. Fans are going to talk. That's what they pay to do. And even if it is on the wild side, once you ignore it, it's just another day at the office. You cash your check, you go home. That's part of your job description, in my opinion, is to show professionalism, class. You're a professional. You're supposed to be above the fans in the stands that are really, in the end, just there to try and rattle you in any way they can, because, hey, we're trying to influence the game in some way to say, hey, we got under your skin, or we're trying to talk junk. Now, I did talk junk to the Pirates, but I'm never offensive. I am a heckler. And when I'm a fan, I'm a paying customer, I'm not going to be offensive and bring up family members. But all I was saying was my first thought on some of these Pirates hitters with their batting average was, I don't know why it came to me, but I just kept yelling out infield power. And my nephew was laughing, and I started laughing. So I kept doing it more. So I'm yelling out. That was the cost for me to pay for those tickets, was to be able to say something funny in my head out loud, get a reaction, and keep it moving. Now, is that offensive? I don't think so, but it was funny to me. I was yelling out infield power while the pitcher was throwing the ball. So that's what was going on in my world. But like I said, I'm always a guy that has a boundary. I know the line. I never cross it. But sometimes fans who are spending their money are going to spend a lot of money on alcohol, and they're going to let things fly that are really, in the end, ridiculous, rude, and derogatory, and quite offensive, that they would never say in a different state. That's the job of the athlete, to deal with it. In my humble opinion, the athlete needs to deal with it.
John Doc Macaroon joins us, Detroit Sports Podcast, one of our faves. We always talk Lions with you, Doc, but you were at that game last night. Before I ask you about the Tigers and Lions, how was the home plate club? How'd you get tickets? And explain it, because Ryan.
That's all I care about, actually. That's exactly where I was going next.
Ryan wants to know, why don't the Tigers put people in those seats? Because it looks so bad on television.
Can I? I'm sorry to jump in here, man.
Jump in.
Can you walk me through, Doc, your process? You don't have to tell me how much or anything like that. Like,
I want to know how much.
Did you get the tickets? Were you gifted the tickets? You know somebody with tickets? How does it work?
Yeah, no. Once I realized that the Pirates were coming in, potential of Skeen Skubal, I started looking on the secondary market. Nice. And I knew that once the game was canceled on Wednesday, there might be a chance someone maybe couldn't go, might throw them up there at lower value. So, and that's what happened. I went on a secondary market, and they were far below value because someone was trying to get rid of them. So I scooped them up. So I paid on the secondary market a decent price. It was face value is $500 a ticket. Wow. I paid about $175 per ticket.
Wow, that's incredible.
So to me, that's value for all you can eat, all you can drink. Now, those seats are pretty much all sold. There was
Yes.
maybe 4 tickets that were available. They were all sold. But the people are eating. They're drinking. There's literally 40 different varieties of food, candy. Alex DeBrincat was there hanging out in the Tigers
Wow.
Club. So you get to have the comfy confines of a nice place to enjoy. And so my nephew and I sat for the first couple innings. Then we went and ate. Then they switch up the menu in the 5th inning. You get dessert, coffee. So we hung out
Pizza.
until the 9th inning in the Tiger Club. Then I said to him, my nephew, I said, let's get back down there and let's finish this game out. And I know that half the fans are not sitting there. Let's get ourselves on TV and have a good time. And let's
Yeah.
enjoy this opportunity to really take advantage. So anybody can buy it. Is it worth it for one single game? Absolutely. We ate, we drank, we laughed, we were comfortable. Now, in the grand scheme of things, if I was a corporate business owner and wanted to pay for that every single day and for the whole year, not yet worth it. I think my nephew said it. They just need to do everything grander. If you're trying to sell this as luxury, because of the game was started maybe an hour after, there were still, people saw the video. There were still some stuff on the chairs that was not cleaned up properly.
Right.
I feel like they needed to, even in the rain delay, clean up when we got back. They just left everything. I feel like it needs to be even more upscale if you're going to charge people 50 to 100K per year. On a one-game basis, absolutely go do it. But you needed to wheel this out when you finished it, not when you half finished it just to do a money grab. But
Doc.
that's how the Illiches want to operate it. I would, like I said, if you're going to appeal to those that can spend it. My nephew said it. He's not this way, but he said it. He's like, you got to do it grander. Like, you need to have 5 cutting stations. You got to make it grand. You got to have meats galore. You got to have it pristine in terms of customer service. They did the best they could within the confines of a rainy
Rain.
day and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Listen, you got to treat this like you're dealing with the elite of the elite, and they're not going to tolerate substandard service.
So Doc, let me just say this, and I don't care if they wanted to charge $1 million per game for those tickets. Those tickets are sold and are going to be scooped up. My questions have surrounded ways to improve the experience, not only for those in the park, but those watching on TV. Because you yourself just said you might have watched 4 innings in the seats. That is where my focus is. I don't care about the business end. I think it looks beautiful. The background is completely beautiful. It is perfect. They did a great job.
Yep.
I don't care what they sell the tickets for. That is the business end of it. I would never say you shouldn't make this kind of money if you could make that kind of money. The tickets are sold for these games. My questions surround how can they get the butts in the seats? Because that's
Simple.
the part that looks terrible to me. And
Yes,
I have just said, why not have seat fillers or something like that? Where if Doc Macaroon is sitting watching the game, maybe a Tigers employee, somebody in the sales staff, somebody wherever.
But if you're moving people around, when those other people come back, who the hell wants to move back and forth?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to bring somebody from upstairs, but maybe a Tigers employee or somebody. You've got to have like 100 people, less than 100 people in that stadium that would be up for doing something like that. What do you think?
Ryan, it's
What
real
do you
simple.
think?
This is a logistical thing you're talking about. Here's a simple thing. More vendors to bring you the food. There was maybe one for the whole time I was there that said, hey, can I get you anything? For 300 people. All you got to do is have 5-6 attendants. Hey, you want a Pepsi? You want a drink? Hey, I'm more than down to sit in the game and watch it. But the food and the drink were in the right field.
Right.
We're in right field. So that's a 10-minute walk to
That's
get
going to
there.
change, though. That'll change.
That's going to change.
Yes.
So that's what I think is going to be logistical, is that when they build the club right near the seats, this is just a temporary situation. But you're absolutely right. It's an eyesore. It doesn't look exactly right in terms of television, but that's what they sacrificed for having the people there. And what was funny was there was a lot of people trying to get in those seats that didn't belong there, but the ushers were definitely on their game and in terms of making sure that people sat there properly. Look, you can't – listen, in the end, I bought the seats. And that's the spot that you say, hey, I got to do what I got to do with them. I chose to watch 4 innings. And, hey, you could at least give me the credit. I watched the best part of the game. My nephew didn't even want to come back. He was like, I just want to keep eating ice cream. I want to have more desserts.
Right.
I was like, come on, let's go. It's competitive. I want to see the walk-off win. And he's like, all right. He's like, you serious? And I'm like, yeah, let's go do it. And he definitely was loving the opportunity that we had. But listen, it's one of those deals. It's a trade-off. You sell those tickets for profit, but it doesn't look great on television. You're absolutely right.
I totally understand why they wouldn't just let people come. I want to be very clear about that. You can't just unless you have a process, you can't just let people come down and sit there, because so much more goes along with that seat. Right? I mean, when you're in that seat, then
you need your ticket when you go inside. I
guess you wouldn't need the ticket, yes. But
to sit out there, you could just sit out there.
Fair enough. Let me ask you this, Doc. You say this is in right field, and I know they're building it closer to the home plate, actually closer to home plate. And I think that's going to open up pretty soon at the end of July or in July or something like that.
It would have been open, but they had pipes that broke during the winter.
Exactly. But, like, don't you think, Doc, also that on a 90-degree day, let's say the Tigers were home this week, the next 5 days, it's going to be 95 degrees out. Don't you believe also that wherever it is, right field or underneath, if you're at that game, if you have that seat, you're still going to go to the game, but now you're just going to be in the club watching the game, eating and drinking, maybe seeing an inning.
That's what I do in the Champions Club.
Yeah.
The Champions Club is above third base. And I'm lucky enough that I have Drew Lane, gives me tickets a lot.
Shout out
to the Drew Lane podcast. I get to go up there often, and you could sit outside and watch the game, or you could sit inside the air conditioner. But you have the opportunity to watch the game all the time. But not in the home plate club. You're either sitting outside or you're sitting inside with you eating.
No, but there's a vantage point. No, I got great photos. You can see the whole game. That's why people enjoy sitting there. You get the open window. You get to see the entire game. It's lovely. No, it's a viewing experience.
There's a window
we got to
there?
see the
Where the
team
hell's
tie
the
the game up. There's big windows there that you can see the games and see it fully. And so that's why guys. No, I don't think that a portion of the fans didn't want to watch the Tigers. You can sit there and enjoy it from the comfy seats inside and watch baseball. So just a different vantage point that you have. And then you can go to a restroom and get more drinks when you need to. So that is why they are not filled. It's just that's the opportunity that is presented. But I do agree.
Doc. You're talking about the Tiger Club. Of course, there's windows there, but there's no windows at the home plate club, where the food is going to be in a few weeks or a month. There's nowhere for you to sit inside and see the game unless you're watching the television. That's what I'm saying.
Like I said, so what you're saying is, like I said, that the eyesore problem may not resolve itself.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that when you pay for those seats, the Tigers made the conscious decision that they would sacrifice the viewing audience in terms of what it looks like. And Major League Baseball across the board has a similar problem. It's not only a Tigers problem, that they would sacrifice that for the increased revenue, because this was something that was born from those more, because what happens is every year fans are given surveys, and what was told by the Tigers and what was relayed to them was that fans wanted more luxury opportunities, and those seats are flying, and that's what the Tigers decided to do, was to listen to those fans that said, hey, we want more opportunities to have luxury items, luxury seating. And I'm not gonna lie, those seats, heating and cooled. Now, I will say this. They weren't regulated in terms of where I was sitting. I had tickets to the home plate club, but it was not directly behind home plate. I found myself there, and nobody cared to ask. So
Beautiful.
I took advantage of it.
Talking to Doc Macaroon, Detroit Sports Podcast, and, of course, Lions writer for SI.com. Let me talk about those Lions for a second. There's so much.
We're like a month away from the
from
game.
Training camp.
And the game.
Right? And the Hall of Fame game. I saw Mark Schlereth on one he was on one of the podcasts just today or the other day, and he said, the Lions are still a threat in the NFC. And my question is, who's better than them in the NFC? What do you mean threat? Who's better than the Detroit Lions in the NFC?
Oh, it's a great question. No, look, they're still in the class. They're still in the top 5. It's not a question of who's better. I just think that what now you've seen is that the gap maybe between the Lions and the rest. Remember the Lions last year, #1 seed, 15-2 record. The gap has gotten a little bit smaller between the Rams, the Commanders, and the Eagles. You got teams like them loading up on the offensive side. You got Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams. You have a great defensive line there with Jared Verse. And you realize, okay, McVay is one of the great coaches. You have the defending Super Bowl champion. So you naturally, even though there's always turnover, you start with, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So you start with the Eagles. They're better than you because they hold the title and you don't. So in the end, yes, the Lions are in the conversation to be competitive in the NFC because of Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. But there are teams that are rising up the ranks. And most notably, I think a lot of teams, a lot of pundits and a lot of other teams are also focusing in on what's going on with the Commanders because they have a young quarterback that many people believe is the future of the league with his athleticism and what he showed year one was ideally what the Bears would have liked to have gotten from Caleb Williams. They didn't, but the Commanders have a bright future ahead. So the Lions are in the mix, but you can't firmly state that they're the best team in the NFC right now.
Doc, what's your biggest question heading into camp right now? Like the thing that you just say, I'm just not, it's a little iffy here, or whatever the case may be. Your biggest question mark heading into camp in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, naturally, I think what people are talking about is something different than I have. Many people are talking about the offensive line, Ben Johnson, and the departure of Aaron Glenn. I feel like those things are going to be figured out. I feel like Dan Campbell has his pulse of the coaching staff and the team to hire great people. And I think the offense is going to make this football team very competitive. I would have the natural concern that everybody should have at this point in time, the health of the team. How can you sell to me that this team can be healthy when you didn't really overhaul the medical staff, and what changes are you going to make to practice? The Lions run one of the most demanding practices, eye-opening practices that everybody you talk to says. Are they going to make adjustments? Are things going to be different? You're selling the fan base that Marcus Davenport is going to stay healthy, but every single day you hear trade rumors. T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. You hear every defensive end that potentially could be available, fans still want. Why is that? You haven't sold the fan base that the player opposite of Aiden Hutchinson is going to stay healthy. The majority of the fan base is nervous that within 2 weeks he's going to be gone. So I would have the natural concern as everybody else. Why is everybody saying, well, if the team stays healthy? Last year they weren't. Now, could you say it's luck? Could you say there's more factors to it? I do. I do think that is going to be something to pay attention to, is how's the team practicing, who stays healthy, who breaks down, because in the end, Allen Robinson on your fine platform said, the injuries caught up to them and it ended up crumbling what was supposed to be a great season.
That was a great interview by the heavyweights, and Allen Robinson was really, really good. Did you get a chance to see that, Ron?
I did.
Great stuff. We'll
I
play
love him. And shout out to Tracy Robinson. His mom texted me on Father's Day. How about that? What a great woman. You can understand why Allen Robinson is such a great
apple
such
trees
a
have
great
apples,
person.
right?
My goodness.
There you
Shout
go,
out.
man.
Thanks, Mrs. Robinson.
Hey, Doc, as far as the Lions now, they go to work a little earlier than some other teams because they have the Hall of Fame game coming up against Jim Harbaugh, who I just found out doesn't take showers. Did you hear that?
Wait, what?
By the way,
He doesn't take showers.
He doesn't take showers after he sweats. He goes home in his sweaty clothes and everything. That's another story. But they play the Chargers in Canton. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of going to that game on my way to Jersey. I think I'm going to that game. So anyway, what's your take on the Lions? It's a different type of schedule this year. They play a little earlier, so they get the last week off before the season starts. I think that might be a help to them.
Yeah, no doubt. Early reporting gives the team a chance to get their bearings and have some practices. And you look at it, and this football team has a lot of young players that are going to benefit, most notably Hendon Hooker. You want to see what he's able to do early on. You're not going to see a lot of starters or marquee names in the first couple of preseason games, if at all. So you want to see guys like Vaki, Broderick Martin. You want to see some of the rookies, what they can start to do against some better competition. And so I think that's great. And you want to hopefully get Tate Ratledge signed, who is yet to sign. You can read why a lot of second-round draft picks are not signing their contracts yet at Lions on SI, and kind of understand what's going to need to take place for some more dominoes to drop for these second rounders. You need these guys in camp performing and getting after it. And I love it because so many things can start to really take shape in regards to seeing how Miles Frazier, Tate Ratledge, Isaac Tesla look, and especially the defensive end, Ahmed Hassani. They're going to benefit greatly from some early opportunities. July 31st, I can't wait to go see it too.
Last question, Doc, and thanks so much for spending this time with us. This is fantastic here on a Friday. Is there one veteran, perhaps, that you're keeping an eye on throughout the league that maybe, well, this guy's going to be a camp casualty. This guy's unsettled. He's not going to show up to camp. I guess that guy is Trey Hendrickson, right? I mean, isn't he the big domino that everybody's waiting for to see what he does if he forces Cincinnati's hand? What is the likelihood of Trey Hendrickson perhaps moving on, not only from Cincinnati and coming to Detroit, but going anywhere? And, of course, if he goes anywhere, it's probably going to be the Eagles.
Of course. Or Washington.
No, it's great, right? Everybody would love to see one of the marquee names at defensive end come, but it's just not going to happen. Brett Holmes, look, it's just the cap is going to really prevent them from having – and most teams don't have two guys making north of $1 million. Yeah, they just don't have. So I look at it and I say the player I'm looking at is Darius Smith, and player to pay attention to. Saints, Cam Jordan, maybe players elevated age, maybe could do some things in the training camp if they work well with the Saints as they're rebuilding.
Love it. Doc, who's better than you, man?
Nobody.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. Guys, read Doc, SI.com. Lions, read it for SI.com. Check him out on the Detroit Sports Podcast. One of the good guys out there. Doc Macaroon. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate it.
See you, Doc.
No problem. And remember, I'm a fan, not a hater.
Hey, remember, next time you get Home Plate Club, you know my number.
That's great.
How about them apples?
Thanks,
man. All right.
Hey, man.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I got a couple friends listening over at one of my places that I like to hang out at is up at Zott Ford and Holly. Shout out to RJ Majera. That's my guy, RJ Majera.
Shout out, RJ.
Shout out, RJ. Air Force. What's the Air Force's? Pete, what's the Air Force say? Semper Fi is Marines.
Air Force is
Giddy up. RJ, you're the man.
Oh, that's so funny, Maz. You're the man. Good job. Good job, RJ. Good job, Maz.
That was a great man to hear.
Aim high,
fly, fight, win.
Aim high,
fly, fight, win.
Aim high, fight, flight. Never mind.
Fly,
good job,
fight,
Maz.
win.
I'm sorry.
Stick to sports, man.
I am. I know. God bless the Air Force.
You got it,
Stick
Maz.
to sports. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. Lions, more Lions. And there's something that happened in baseball last night, too, that is worth talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you about that. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
You know it. Dr. Jeff Pierce, 248-426-9944, MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. This is the guy that keeps you in the game and playing at your best, staying in the game and feeling a lot better. You guys know my deal with the tennis elbow and both elbows. I've been going for about, 6 weeks now, getting better every single day. Go out and see him. Faith is an awesome physical therapist. So is Kara. Great people. Dr. Jeff Pierce joins us every Tuesday on Big D Energy, joins us on Thursdays. He keeps you in the game. It's MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Tell him Woodward Sports sent you.
Sports is giving you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Will Rule and Eric McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media. The Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7 p.m. Enough for you, sports freak. Check out Woodward Ringside and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday. Roder, Terry Foster, and Sean Logan. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content. And make sure you're following all social media. IG, Facebook, and TikTok. One Sports, we got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network.
Into any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports, it is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean, spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
About Detroit media by other Detroit media. We love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can go the whole team. Red Wings, Tigers, something for you. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Now, I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, man. Get some new sports merch. Tigers, Red Wings, it doesn't matter. It's all on the website, shop.woodwardsports.com. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, and amazing apparel with the ultimate swag, man. Hoodies, tees, hats, doesn't matter. It's all guaranteed to turn heads. Get your new Detroit sports merch, Detroit sports merch right now, shop.woodwardsports.com. That's shop.woodwardsports.com. Pete.
You know what they do to me over here, guys? They like to put QR codes above my balding head. So you might as well go ahead and scan that one. And it'll take you to Feldman Chevrolet, which is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and in Lansing. And this month's specials include, check this out. Look at the board over here, guys. Come on. A 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. You can lease that for $149 per month, or the 2026 Equinox LT. You can lease that for just $209 a month. Scan that QR code above my head and visit FeldmanChevrolet.com. Let's head to our friend Mark Schlereth.
I think one of the things that people don't talk about, Dan Campbell plays the role of meathead well. I don't think people really understand how smart and how good a coach he is. And what an offensive guy he was. It took a little time to give the offense over to Ben Johnson, and they worked that in unison. And Ben is incredible now in Chicago. Dan had a lot to do with how that offense has been established and the way they run that offense. Detroit is so talented. Now they lost, the interior of their offensive line that scares me a little bit. Frank now decides to retire. There's going to be some mixing and matching there, some new guys playing. So that's a big turnover to me. They should get so healthy on defense. They should get so many players back on defense. Aiden Hutchinson, that seems to hopefully rectify itself, so to speak, even with the new coordinator.
And that was exactly what we were talking about with Doc Macaroon, not Doc Schlereth, Doc Macaroon. That was Mark Schlereth on the Rich Eisen podcast. And they were talking about...
Everyone's got podcasts.
Everybody's got a podcast.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
If you don't have a podcast, I guess you're not anything.
Yeah, everybody just wants content,
yeah.
Right?
Content.
Content.
Push it.
Content.
He's got this. How about Schlereth has the Stinking Good podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, never mind.
Totally
I'm good.
Stinking good.
I'm
totally good. Yeah,
Ricky, you got a podcast besides this?
No, I do not have a podcast, actually.
But you work at 105.1, right?
You got your own show.
Okay,
I got my own radio show.
That's
you got your own show.
I almost broke out my old 105.1 shirt today.
Really?
I got the polo with the Pistas on the
I
side.
threw all that away.
Oh, I kept it because
I gave it away to charity. I didn't throw
my heart still hurts.
Yeah.
From that. Anyway, you were talking about stink.
Well, I mean, I want to hear more about your heart hurting.
It does. It hurts. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm great now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm happy for Ricky.
Yeah, make sure you check out the show 3 to 7, Monday through Friday on 105 105.
Ricky's bouncing. Ricky's bouncing.
Bouncing.
So
The
great.
bounce.
Oh,
I
man.
love how JB took Pete's job in traffic.
Yes.
And Ricky took our job at
It's
105.1.
the circle of life.
Yes.
Hilarious.
That's crazy.
Just hilarious. All in one show. It's really amazing.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
What a
it is.
melting pot,
It
right?
is.
Just a melting pot of
What can I tell you?
soup.
Yeah, it's all good.
I didn't really have anything to add about Stink. We had the audio. I wanted to show what Stink had to say about the Lions being,
He hit it on the head.
Ben Johnson, yeah.
contenders.
The only thing they're missing is the middle of their offensive line.
Right.
Other than that, they're rock solid.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. He said you're going to get a few people back. Yeah, we're going to get like 25 guys back on defense. That's pretty good.
Just for the record, Pete, I did email you 3 bloopers.
Gotcha.
That's for later, right?
Yeah, it's for later.
Yep.
He's got to give. I just wanted to alert him.
It's an alert.
That we've got.
We got an alert.
Alert.
Thank you.
Blooper alert. Blooper alert.
Respect
I just
the
wanted
TD.
to- Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I wanted to mention this because I've seen this in a couple areas. But by the way, Detroit News, Free Press, everybody out there now reporting that there will be no charges.
Yes.
In the fans being ejected. I didn't.
Why
think
should
there
there
would-
be?
right. Well, there shouldn't be.
There should be a charge against the
But
Pirates pitcher.
Apparently, that decision was made. No charges. I didn't even think it would be even a thing. Secondly, about last night, baseball. Did you see the Dodgers and the Padres
course.
last night?
Yes.
This is the greatest rivalry in baseball.
Yes.
I think it has surpassed the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Well, now.
Right,
For
currently.
now. Yeah,
Right.
Currently.
Yes, absolutely. Currently,
I mean, the Padres are not really anything. You know what I mean?
no.
Red Sox
I
and
don't-
Yankees are history.
Well,
Padres don't have any history.
Mass, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about
For right now.
in 2025.
Yeah.
The Dodgers-Padres rivalry. If you go through rivalries in baseball,
There's more hate there.
Which there are not many rivalries in baseball. Who would you even say is the Tigers' rival?
We really don't have
They
one.
don't have
Cleveland.
one.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
That's it.
And that's not really even a rivalry, is it?
I think it
I mean,
kind of is.
correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a good point.
I don't really consider Cleveland a rival.
I do, but okay.
You know?
They're not in this realm. Dodgers, Padres have
Hate
hate.
each other.
They hate, and they're plunking each other all week.
Well,
and I
that-
think it's great.
That's just it. So let me take you back to last night. The Padres are up 5-0 in the 9th inning, and Tatis gets drilled
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
right in the
smoked.
hand. And this was a bad one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got smoked.
I don't like this. The other night when Ohtani got one, it was retaliation.
Took it in the leg.
The Ohtani's was retaliation in the leg, and it
Yes.
was right in the meat of the thigh.
That was for Tatis again.
It was.
Yeah, Tatis
It's-
got hit the other day.
Exactly. So this is the second now such game. We've had Tatis hit, and then Ohtani hit. Last night, Tatis was hit in the wrist or in the hand area.
Yes.
He was down for a little while.
MRI today.
Absolutely.
That's
I've
correct,
not
Tom.
seen what that is yet.
Manny Machado has said that MRI better come back clean or watch
Right.
out.
Right. He
And
did.
it better. And I'll tell you, if it doesn't come back clean, then Rob Manfred must suspend half the Dodgers players and manager and general manager and everybody.
Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt, the managers, are going to fight. They went after each other last night. I would have paid to see that one. I would love to see Dave Roberts get clocked. He probably would have clocked poor Mike Schilt, but I would have paid to see that.
don't know.
They're going to
Schilt
meet.
was-
They're pointing to the parking lot. Let's go. Let's go. It was really fun. It was good.
Not only that, but so after Tatis gets hit in the 9th, Ohtani comes up at the bottom of the 9th, and guess what happened?
Boom.
He got hit,
Right.
and it was higher, much higher than it was the day before.
And what
It
did
was
Ohtani
up
do?
Under the arm.
Ohtani's
And Ohtani's waving
Yep,
the
he waved
waving
them
the
off.
bench.
Exactly.
Do not come out here.
He
Do
waved
not
them
come
off.
out
He
here.
knew he was getting hit.
Is
Right.
he all class
He
or
is.
what?
Right.
He is, except for what he did to his friend, his interpreter. He's class.
I think
Except
that
for
was
that,
in
you
the
know,
contract.
the guy's in federal prison. Besides
Yeah,
that,
but that was
yeah,
part
he's
of
all
the deal.
class.
That was part of the deal.
Yeah. I'm sure he's taking care of his family and all. That's good. So you go away for 30 years. Go away for 30
your
years.
family's taken
Your family's
care of.
taken care of. It's like a page out of The Godfather.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
But nonetheless, Tani's on there. I love this stuff. I just wish it was on earlier.
Me too.
You know, that happened about 1 in the morning.
I know.
Oh,
You know,
man.
It was
I
great.
saw it this morning.
It was good.
And I couldn't get enough of it, and I kept watching it. But
Maz, did you watch it on the broadcast like I was watching it? I was on the Angel. Actually, I was on the Padres broadcast when it happened. Were you watching it on the MLB app, Maz?
I was on. Yeah, I watched the Dodgers portion. I watched Joe Davis. I can't stand the Padres announcers. So
Gotcha.
I watched Joe Davis.
what do you got against the Padres announcers?
I don't know. He just gets on my nerves. He's a former Red Sox
Oh,
announcer.
Don Orsillo.
Don Orsillo.
Don Orsillo.
Yeah, even the San Diegans. I got enough. I've had enough of him. He's over the top. But I'll listen to him before I would listen to the Orioles or Athletics women announcers. I'm sorry.
Hot take.
Don't blame you.
Sorry. That's me.
Don't blame you.
Put it
Yeah,
on
why
me.
you putting the camera on me?
Put it on me. I don't care. I don't know their names. Otherwise, I would have said their names.
3
support
NL
Matt.
West teams in
Horrible.
the playoffs right now. Padres and Giants are the wild cards.
Yes.
Along with Philadelphia, but Padres, Giants, Dodgers currently 3 teams in the West, in the NL West. My goodness.
You know what today is?
What?
It's the 50-year anniversary
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh God.
for the
you
great
see
movie
that?
Jaws.
Oh, man.
The Yankees are doing it up this weekend at Yankee Stadium. They're giving away all their plasticware, where you get your sodas and your hot dogs and all that, the boats and all that. Everything is Jaws related. 50 years ago. Listen, I stood in line with my mom, dad, and my sisters.
Wow.
We stood in line for 2 hours to get in the Fox Theater in Jersey to watch that movie. Stood in line like the old days, man.
So
It was
that
the old days.
movie was the
Look at that.
first summer blockbuster. That's what was considered the first summer
Yep.
blockbuster movie.
Yep.
Also, that movie shaped generations of lives.
You bet.
People did not go in the water
That's correct.
because of that movie.
That's correct.
And we were talking about this earlier. Like, has there ever been a movie that prevented you from doing something or scared you
Yes.
to doing something more than Jaws? Scared you from getting in the water or scared you from sharks?
Only thing close. Well, one, my 5-year-old, Jaws is one of her favorite movies since she was a kid. And it's so random. But only other thing I can think of is Final Destination and the log truck. Anytime I see a log truck on the street, I can't go anywhere near it because of that. That's the only closest I can get to
Yeah.
Jaws.
Amityville Horror. You remember that one?
Yes. Refresh my memory. I do know it.
It's
but I don't-
Amityville, New York. There's this house, and there was supposedly some murders in this house, and this family moves in. And the movie stars James Brolin. If you read the book, it's it'll scare the living daylights out of you just reading the book. But there are a lot of stories that came out of that house, and that would scare the living daylights out of you, the bejesus out of you.
Pete?
I was going to say, guys, real quick, I think one of the things that scared me about that movie, Ryan, it's not the fact that you're in the water with a shark, it's getting eaten.
Yeah.
I think that the thing of just getting eaten is what scares the living daylights out of me. I wouldn't want to die that way.
My daughters won't watch that movie.
I don't blame them.
Yes.
Luke, my son, is obsessed with Jaws.
Luke's
Does
coming
he
over
love
for
it?
movie night.
Does he love
He
it?
is.
He loves
He's coming
it.
over to Uncle
is,
Tommy's.
He is totally obsessed with Jaws.
It's a great
And
movie.
it's so funny, like
Somebody made a replica of the boat.
these generations of movies that just last. Jaws is obviously one of them. Rocky, to me is one of them. I mean, and not only that, but like the backstory behind how this movie got made. Roy Schneider, who was the main
Sheriff.
character in this movie, was not the guy that they wanted to play the main character. There were so many different names that Spielberg wanted, but they couldn't afford them. Paul Newman,
Oh, wow.
Robert
Wow.
Redford, Steve McQueen. Those were the top three preferences. But they
Scheider was great.
the movie couldn't afford those guys, so it was Charlton Heston was the guy that was supposed
wow.
to be Chief
Chief Brody? No.
yeah,
Or the
the
captain.
The captain.
That's Robert.
Yes.
Quint.
So
Quince.
yes. So the
Quince.
story is that Spielberg saw Roy Schneider at a Hollywood party. Spielberg is like 25, 26 at this time of the party.
Yeah.
He was 27 when
Sure,
he made Jaws.
50 years ago.
Exactly. Schneider just asked him for the job. Said, up. He's like, hey, how's your project coming? He's like, great, but I don't have a lead. Schneider says, I'll be your lead. Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that
I
something?
love that.
Crazy.
Isn't that something?
You
That's
never
insane.
know.
You
man.
never know. You gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah,
Never
You
know.
gotta shoot your shot.
Isn't that something?
that's crazy.
If you don't ask, you'll never know. Isn't that wild?
Yes.
I just love that stuff. It's so good. Anyway,
Great stuff.
I
Love
don't know.
movies, especially here in the summer.
Right. Freddy Krueger says, Surge, I could not sleep and I will not go to bed. I would stay up. Freddy Krueger was a good one, man.
Yeah.
A One Dark Night kept me away from cheerleaders from Rando Smalls.
Halloween. I mean, the
Yeah.
original Halloween
No doubt.
back in the day was scary as hell.
Scary. 70s.
Jason was scary.
No doubt.
Signs. I remember Signs. The previews
Signs
didn't
is
say anything
crazy.
about aliens, and an alien showed up, and I was terrified. I remember.
I'll tell you this: Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
In the 70s, early 70s, this was made. Charlton Heston's the lead. And do you remember Planet of the Apes?
Yes, of course. There's like a bunch of them.
Yeah, he's in space. He comes down. He thinks he's on another planet. When it turns out at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he's on Earth, except in the future, and it's all taken over by apes. And humans are now like the animals. And what happens? They let him. He runs away, gets on his horse, picks up this one girl that he was hanging with, and he's riding on the horse. And he comes to the Forbidden Land, as they call it.
Forbidden
and
Land.
what does he see? He sees the broken up half of the Statue of Liberty
Right.
at the beach. You see the half of her holding up the torch, and he looks, and you see him pounding the sand. Damn you all to hell. You blew it up. You blew it up. You really did it this time. We blew up our own Earth, and that's what happened. To this day, I'm still scared of the Statue of Liberty.
Really?
I am. Although I love her. I
She's
do.
gorgeous.
I love her, but she scares the daylight. She's in my nightmares a lot.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Like when I'm on a
Wow.
bridge, when
That's
I'm on
so
the bridge.
wild to hear
makes
from a New
sense.
Yorker.
Yeah, when I'm on the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge,
traumatized.
the Brooklyn Bridge you can go on, but the Bayonne Bridge, you pass it through Staten Island, and you get a good glimpse of her. I get the heebie-jeebies.
Really?
You're traumatized.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I
my
see that-
sister is totally scared of her because of that
Really,
movie.
I see that lady and I just think it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Now you know
Yeah.
she's on, and really she is in New Jersey waters, right?
I did not know that.
New York has a deal with Jersey, with the Port Authority, that she's a New York Statue of Liberty, but in reality, she's in Jersey
It's on the Jersey
waters
side?
in the Hudson River.
Really? Yeah.
Yep. But her ass faces Jersey. That's it.
Thought about that. You guys.
A lot of people weighing in here. Rando Small says Tremors. Xavier D says The Exorcist. Now,
Oh God, Linda
like,
Blair.
I
Hot, by
saw
the way.
The Exorcist when I was a little bit older. Because of the different animation and the graphics
Yes.
and everything like that, it didn't have the same effect on me that it might have had on somebody in the 70s.
Right.
Like, you know, my parents saw
Yes,
that
of course.
film or whatever. It just
Yeah.
didn't have the same effect on me.
It's the same thing if you watch Halloween now. It's not the same.
Exactly.
Cartoonish.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre says Lawrence Hacks. Vincent E. Anaconda. I'm Salty says Ghost in the Darkness. Now, anything with Ghost
Right.
Yeah, we'll get you.
kind of gets me a little bit. The Shining, I don't know if I was scared of hotels because of The Shining.
Wow.
You know, I did not like long hallways in hotels
Right.
because of The Shining. That is one of those scary ones.
Blair Witch Project. I would never go camping because of the Blair Witch Project.
Fair.
I
Fair.
had.
But I think I didn't want to go camping because of Jason first in Friday
gotcha.
the 13th.
I don't want to go camping because I despise camping.
Right,
Besides
exactly.
that, that's about it.
And I was afraid to turn the television on after Poltergeist. The
Yeah,
white
Poltergeist.
screen would freak me out. You know, the white staticky
Yeah.
screen, because that's where the
Hey, D. Eagle
the
says he's a
daughter
car
goes
guy.
through.
He loved Christine. I remember that movie, Christine.
Rando Smalls has the best one. The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah,
That movie scared President Reagan. President Reagan was advised not to watch that movie because he was in process of building up the nuclear arsenal.
Really?
He watched the movie against the advice of his people, and then he started cutting the missiles with Mikhail Gorbachev.
It's funny. I don't think there's any movie that's made today that freaks me out where I wouldn't do anything.
Right.
Like back in the day.
We need Braylon here. Braylon could spit out a million of them.
Maybe because we have so much access to, my favorite word, content.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have so much access at our fingertips. If we want to get spooked out by something, we can get spooked out by something in 30 seconds on the internet.
That's real.
Internet, right?
That's
Yeah.
100% real.
And it's probably real.
It's real.
Right? Like, I'll never go bungee cord jumping because there's a
God.
thread that says this.
Yeah.
I don't even
I don't want to go to LA.
I watch
because,
roller
mean,
coasters,
Yeah.
and I literally get sick to my stomach watching the roller coaster videos.
It's wild, man.
I'm afraid of heights. Deathly afraid of heights.
You guys should try jumping
Definitely.
from a plane.
No, I'm good.
You know that virtual
didn't-
reality, I had one of those virtual reality things. I was doing something at the Henry Ford. This is years ago, prior to COVID. I was at the Henry Ford doing a story for Fox 2. It was like this makers fair where all these inventors
Yep.
are at Henry Ford, and it was one of the inventors of virtual reality headset. And I'm standing on the ground, just as plain as day. Think about the ground you're standing on right now. I put this headset on, and I'm standing at the top of the building on the edge. And I know I'm on the ground. I know that. But in my mind, it's amazing how your mind can play tricks on you. I would not take a step forward. I would not do it, even though
Wow.
I know
Yes.
I'm at the Henry Ford on the floor.
Oh yeah.
I believe it.
But I'm standing on the edge of the
I
building.
could beat you.
Okay?
You ever go to Walt Disney World?
Yes.
You ever go on Soarin'?
Yes.
I had to close my eyes on Soarin'.
That's my favorite ride there.
Soarin' is literally you're sitting in like this. It's a big seat. It fits about what 5, 6 people.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with my family, and it lifts you up, not too far, and then in front of you, you are flying.
Yeah.
And
like
You're
Back to
just
the Future
there.
ride.
you're not moving, but everything else
The
is.
screen is
I
moving.
I was closing my eyes and holding on, even though I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't even moving.
That's so great. That is my favorite ride at Disney World, Soarin'.
Isn't that something?
And Aladdin is the similar. And I guess if you haven't been to Disney World, if you don't know what we're talking about, have you ever seen that sports bar in Dallas?
Oh yeah, the one
That-
that you think you're at the game.
That's that.
Yeah.
That's Soarin'.
The sphere
Wow.
or whatever, yeah.
That's the
Well-
same technology as Soarin'. The same screen, the same everything.
You actually think you're sitting in the stadium.
Right.
That's it. Anyway, good stuff. Guys, Brad Holmes was on a podcast with Chris Long. Everybody's got a podcast.
I know.
He was talking to Chris Long. He had some interesting things to say about the Jared Goff trade, about Frank Ragnow, about turning down an opportunity with the Lions. We're going to get to all
Ben
those.
Johnson.
Ben Johnson, him taking the Bears job. We'll get to all of those clips. But first, a message. I want to say Rando Smalls, $5. I watched Vietnam Tunnel Rats. Now I can't do MRI or elevators. Wow.
MRIs. I get crushed
Definitely
in an
don't wanna
MRI.
do that.
I'm claustrophobic too.
But first,
I got
a message
issues.
from Tom Mazaway.
The massage chair. I'm up here today, so no massage chair for me. But if you want to upgrade your relaxation game, Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills is the place for you on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, led by the doc, Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc. He's the guy that has the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Why don't you book a chair right now? Book a Massage Chair House. Go right now and check it out. MassageChairHouse.com or click that QR code. It'll get you right there. Take a few minutes in the chair. I guarantee you will not want to get out. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not. Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's very nice.
Network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Make sure you're staying connected with Woodward Sports on all platforms. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, for the latest sports news, live updates, and some of that behind-the-scenes action, man. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. Once again, we're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. That's at Woodward Sports on all of those. At Woodward Sports. Make sure you follow us on all social platforms right now.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
You're good.
Pete. Okay, guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like Gimmy's on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
Lots of lion sound I want to pass along to you guys, just so you have it all in one spot. Earlier this week, Brett Holmes was on with Chris Long, son of Howie Long.
You're going to do it with Chris Long first? Okay.
Or what do you want?
That's fine.
We got
Well, go ahead, man. Do it how you want to do it.
No. I want to make sure Pete knows which one you're doing. That's all.
Oh, I
Thank
thought
you.
these were all on the Chris Long.
No, the first two are Field Yates.
Okay.
The next two are the Green Light podcast.
Okay. Well, let me
Thanks,
do
guys.
the Holmes on Chris Long on Green Light, talking about losing Ragnow. How about that?
I would love
do
that.
that. Let's do
I
that.
think Frank's probably fishing right now.
If I had to bet, I would. Yes, probably so, man. He is the best, man. He is the best. He literally, when I first got the job, obviously I scouted him coming out, and he was a great player. When I first got the job, he was the first player that had texted me, man, and just reached out and was like, "Hey, man, congratulations, all this." But he is the all-time warrior, man. Just a great human being, and he's going to be sorely missed in our locker room because he fit everything that we were about, man. So, I don't know if you can just replace him because it's not just the player, it's the person as well.
I don't know if they were ready for this one.
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I think they
thought it might have been next year. That's my thought. I think they probably thought he could have got one more year out of it. Otherwise,
Well, that's probably what they were hoping, but they thought they could get, and what they were hoping they could get might have been two different outcomes.
maybe.
But this definitely puts them behind the 8 ball a little bit. Not so much. Well,
I think a lot.
perhaps yes. They're not as good of a team as they were a couple of weeks ago when he was on this team. All right, now let me get to the Field Yates. This is talking about the Jared Goff trade, Matthew Stafford trade. Here we go.
When we got the trade done, and you heard all the, oh, that was just salary dump. Like, what I was thinking was like, man, look, like Jared Goff, like obviously we did a lot of work on him, trading up, number 1 overall and taking him. So I really knew what he was all about, how he was wired. But it was all about like what was the last thing? I think we all suffer from the recency bias. And so the last thing was him exiting the playoffs, or the last thing was him losing a Super Bowl. And I'm sitting here like, and this guy, I didn't know that your career is defined at 24 years old or 25 years old or whatever he was at the time. He had a lot of early success, but he had some bumps, at the tail end. But I knew how talented he was. I knew how smart he was. I knew that he was a gritty, mentally tough quarterback. That's what I did know. So that's why I felt like it was a perfect destination for him. And obviously the trade worked out. I mean, you could probably rank all-time trades. I mean, it's got to be up there in terms of what it did for us and also what it obviously did for the.
All right, Field Yates, another guy with a podcast.
Well, I don't know why we're making fun of this today.
I'm just saying, everyone has a podcast.
Yeah.
Just everyone. I thought Mia Khalifa has a podcast.
Hey,
who is Mia Khalifa?
She's a young lady that
I know, Wiz Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa, young lady that used to do videos.
Oh, gotcha.
Movies.
Like Instagram?
What kind of movies, man?
Adult movies.
Oh my God.
Just the meat of what he was talking about, though. The Jared Goff trade seems like the perfect trade.
It does. It really does.
If you go back in trades all time, okay, the best trades of all time, there aren't many more that are as perfect for both sides as this one was 4 years ago.
It still is.
Yes.
It made the Lions into a relevant team. Yes, they had the guys like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Sheila Hamp and the rest of the crew that she has there. Sure, it took them to draft the right people, and they did. As you could tell, all those players are still here, and they're ready to get paid, every single one of them. There really has not been a major bust. And then it gave the Rams the quarterback to take them over the top and win a Super Bowl. Now, I'm not even going to go anymore. The Lions did really, really well in this deal, superbly well. It made them into a regular NFL team when before they were a UFL team. I'll leave it at that.
So just looking at some of the best trades of all time. Marshall Faulk to the Rams
that
in
was
1999.
That was a steal.
Marshall Faulk went to the Rams. The Colts got 2 draft picks. One of those picks was Edgerrin James.
Okay.
Who was, you know what?
A very good back.
It was a very good back.
He was a Super Bowl winning back who probably Peyton Manning doesn't win a Super Bowl without.
Right.
In Indianapolis.
Help both teams.
Right? Help both teams.
Help both teams.
Kevin Love to the Cavs, Andrew Wiggins to the Wolves.
The Wolves.
Says Cavs received Kevin Love, completing a big 3 with LeBron, Kyrie, where they won a championship. The Wolves got Andrew Wiggins, who eventually helped Golden State win a title after being traded, but Minnesota still got a franchise scorer in the interim. Joe Neuendijk for Jerome McGinley. Stars and Flames both won that trade.
Yep.
The Stars won a Stanley Cup with Neuendijk. The Flames got McGinley, who was their franchise icon, an NHL superstar. Who was some of the Alex Smith to the Chiefs.
Okay.
Chiefs got Alex Smith. 49ers got high draft picks. Went to the Super Bowl with Kaepernick. Ray Allen to the Celtics. The Celtics now Thunder got Jeff Green, which was one of the young. No, that not so much.
Don't forget they got Garnett too from the Nets and Paul Pierce as well, and that put it all together with them.
If you think about this might have been the greatest trade of all time.
It could have been.
This
the way you're talking,
trade.
the way you're talking.
Charles Oakley to the Knicks.
They didn't win a title though.
Nope, but he was an icon.
He was. He still is.
And the Bulls got Bill Cartwright. That's 1988.
Yeah.
Pau Gasol to the Lakers. Grizzlies got Mark Gasol. I mean, that was pretty good. Herschel Walker to the Vikings.
Yep. Vikings won a couple of. I think they won a playoff game, but Dallas is the one. They were able to get the triplets.
Exactly.
They were able to get all those first-round picks.
I mean, as I'm going through these guys, Miguel Cabrera to the Tigers.
It didn't help the Marlins, though.
Well, they got Andrew Miller and Cameron Maybin, which really didn't pan out.
No. It didn't help the Marlins. But the Marlins have won 2 World Series, and the Tigers have won none.
Yeah, I mean,
since '84.
Nolan Ryan to the Angels for Jim Fregosi.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Fregosi was an all-star, but Nolan Ryan pitched 20 years and
Right.
is in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So
and Jim Fregosi's passed away
it
since.
doesn't feel like it worked out, but I'll tell you, that might be the greatest trade of all time for both teams. When you consider both teams, find me a better trade and I'll reconsider. And feel free
I
if
want to hear
anybody's
from the chat.
Absolutely, if you're in the chat,
It has to be good for both teams.
Yeah, exactly. Herschel Walker trade, was it great for the Vikings?
Not
I
really.
don't think it was.
Not really.
What did they win with what did they win in Minnesota with Herschel Walker? I don't believe they did.
I don't think they won much.
Win anything. So
you can't even have that one up there then.
Yeah, you really can't.
It only helped the Cowboys. It gave the Vikings a star player at that moment. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Did you guys hear the story about Brett Holmes getting an offer from the Lions in 2003?
A PR job.
Take a listen to this.
So when I had those 2 opportunities with the Lions and the Rams to be a PR director, I was just reading through all the bios in the media guides, and I saw that the Rams hired a lot of their interns. And so that's when I was like, man, so I actually got the job offer from the Lions first, and then the Rams offered me later. And I kind of had already accepted the Lions one, but when I read through the Lions media guide, I didn't see any bios of like, oh, former intern. So I was like, man, this is just going to be another intern one and done. And so when the Rams gave me the opportunity, I had to make the dreaded call that I was going to, go with the Rams. And so we had a little lunch interview with Dwayne in Atlanta. And lo and behold, he gave me a PR intern position. And so I just packed a U-Haul, headed to St. Louis, did not know anybody there. And then that's
a great story.
It speaks to exactly what the Lions organization was prior to Sheila taking over.
We don't got to tell you.
I mean, that probably could have been a lead story above the fold.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy that did his research. How many of the interns get hired? Or is this just going to be like a, hey, you get your foot in the door and you move out after that? And he's like, you know what? The Rams, they hire their interns. You have an opportunity to get somebody working for you.
He worked with Les Snead, man, and made himself into a general manager.
Is that not an incredible story, and probably says so much about the Lions organization? We had Joey Harrington on earlier this week. I mean, if you want to know what this Lions organization was, that soundbite perfectly encapsulated.
And Joey basically said it when I asked him, did Mariucci and Millen, were they on the same page? And he emphatically said, nope.
Total dysfunction. Total dysfunction.
Might be different for him or a lot of players.
Absolutely.
Had we had the right people in place.
No doubt. I want to move on to Aiden Hutchinson. You had mentioned Mike Florio.
Yeah.
Had some interesting things to say because Aiden Hutchinson, again, injured player at Michigan, major injury. Injured player in the NFL, major injury.
Major.
And now he's up for a contract extension. Yep. Is he risking a future contract by playing this season? Here's what Florio had to say about it.
No one is talking about the fact that Hutchinson doesn't have a deal. We talk about TJ Watt. We talk about Micah Parsons. We talk about Trey Hendrickson, pass rusher. Here's Hutchinson. He doesn't have a deal. No conversation about it. He had a 12 to 15-minute press conference at offseason workouts. Wasn't asked a single question about it. Part of the problem is he wants to be in Detroit. And the challenge for the Lions will be to not use that against him. The most loyal, dedicated, happy employees are the ones who are most likely to be taken advantage of because the boss is going to be more focused on keeping the unhappy people happy. We'll see how it works out. And I understand why the Lions would want to wait. They want to make sure he's healthy. But from his perspective, I've done everything I should do. I should no longer have to carry the risk of injury. I should be getting my reward because if he goes and plays this year and suffers another serious injury, then what happens? So he has every reason to believe he's earned it, and the Lions have every reason to be patient. And through it all, what have other teams learned? The longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. But remember, for first-round picks, if you can find a way to kick the can through that 4th year, you save millions. For that rookie contract, it's a lot of savings for the team if you can get through year 4. Cowboys got Micah Parsons for $3 million last year. The Bengals got Jamar Chase for about $4.5 million. The Vikings got Justin Jefferson a couple of years ago for under $4 million. Great value. You get a big year from a key player, and you defer paying. The Lions may be trying to pull that off, and if Hutchinson is willing to go along with it, that's his business.
That's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
That speaks miles, man. And he got the extension. He's got his 5th-year option picked up, made some money there. But he has got to show. I was one of the guys that said, don't put your money out right now, Lions, and ink him. You said it, man. 2 major injuries. And he's come back, and he is a horse. He's going to be stronger than ever. I believe that. Dr. Pierce tells us that. So then you hear a rumor last week from some Lion beat writers that said J-Mo is about to get paid. So they might pay J-Mo before they pay Hutch.
Oh.
And then you got Brian Branch and Jahmyr Gibbs and Campbell and your tight end, Sam Laporta. There's a lot of hands out. A lot of hands out for the money. I'm in Hutch's corner. I hope he can come out and be the guy that we know he was. He was going to be Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yeah.
He was on his way.
No doubt. So interesting conversation to have. We'll certainly talk more about those in the future. Hutchinson was on with Taylor Lautner. Wasn't that the dude from what's that? The
vampire movie, Twilight.
Stuff. Yeah, Twilight. That's right. He's from Detroit.
He's from Detroit. He's
that's
got a
right.
lot of Lion games.
That's right. Taylor Lautner.
Even he has a podcast.
Had this to say about losing both coordinators.
That amount of staff leaving? Did you think we knew Ben was gone? We knew Aaron was gone.
Right.
You lost a lot.
I guess.
You lost a lot of coaching staff.
Yeah. No. I think whenever you have a lot of success in the NFL and you get a 1 seed, it's like you're going to lose a lot of dudes. And it just so happens that the timing worked out that both of our coordinators were at that point of becoming a head coach. They bring their own coaches with them, so it's like kind of clear out. I don't care who they bring in to coach us. Keeping Dan there is what we all want, but coordinators, position coaches, it doesn't matter. As long as we have the right guys in the locker room and those foundation guys on offense, on defense, you can roll anyone in there to call the plays. And so as long as we keep our core group, we're going to stay in this window of winning. And we're all pretty young too, so yeah, hopefully that's for a while.
Taylor Lautner podcast.
How about it?
Yeah,
you in on that?
Yeah, why not?
I'm
not going to listen to it, though.
Right. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We got some bloopers for you coming up next. It's going to be funny stuff.
I love
let me
bloopers.
tell you. But first, a message from
Planet Fitness,
there
guys. We are in the Planet Fitness studios here in Birmingham with Woodward Sports. You guys can get your fitness on this summer at Planet Fitness. The High School Summer Pass program allows teenagers 14 to 19 to work out free all summer long. I'm sending my daughter Maddie. That's where she is heading. This allows teens to prioritize their mental and physical health while school activities like sports and gym class are in recess. Since launching this program, Planet Fitness has invested more than $300 million in waived membership dues to promote youth, health, and wellness. It's Planet Fitness.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 29th at the Old Miami in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ven Johnson.
More QR codes above my head. You know what this one is. That's Caesars Sportsbook. Scan the QR code and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. And when you do so, make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you'll get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000. But only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use the code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Right.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right, QR code right there. Press and hold on that thing. You'll see a link pop up if you want to see their entire inventory. They've got the ride for you. And again, if you're looking for a car, need some service, get the Les Stanford. Go to people that help us out. Les Stanford Buick GMC, great offers for everyone. A 2025 Envision Preferred, all-wheel drive, $259 per month. What about a 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, only $169 per month. And a 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. Quickly, before we get to bloopers, Sammy Sosa inducted into the Chicago Cubs Hall of Fame.
Sammy.
This is his first time at Wrigley Field today.
That's awesome.
Oh, God.
In 21 years.
That's crazy.
And better late than never.
Yep.
But he absolutely belongs in the Cubs Hall of Fame.
He was always loved.
He should be embraced in Chicago, embraced by the Cubs organization, one of the most beloved players in Chicago sports history. And the Giants should do it for Barry Bonds. And we've seen Mark McGwire do it, be involved back in baseball as a bench coach and everything like that. So, look, it's better late than never, but wanted to get that out there.
Remember when he ran out with his flag?
Oh, God.
Ran
After
out to the
9/11?
outfield after 9/11. He had
Nothing better.
Oh, man, God. Gives me chills thinking about it.
Do you guys want to see some bloopers?
I love bloopers.
All right. It's Friday.
Especially on a Friday.
What is that? I was going to say FAFO, but, on a Friday, fun around on Fridays. How
Okay.
about that?
All right,
Okay.
gotcha.
Here we go. This blooper number one, this is from 2020.
Okay.
This is the year 2020.
Is this Beavis?
No.
Okay.
This is the year 2020. We are broadcasting in different locations.
I remember this.
And I did not realize I was on TV.
New this morning, President Donald Trump says he will renew efforts to end legal protections for young immigrants known as Dreamers.
You want to see it again?
I do. You look good, by the way.
New this morning, President Donald Trump says he will renew efforts to end legal protections for young immigrants known as Dreamers.
Were you reaching for something?
I was just in my bag. It was kind of like the end of the segment or whatever, or towards the end of the show. So I was like,
you were ready
digging
to get
around
your
for
car
my
keys.
or
Your
something
car
like
keys.
that.
So you run out of there too. You run out of here, and you run out of there.
Look, I don't know.
That's
I mean,
good.
it's kind of like so. Okay, so this one is Memorial Weekend. So it's Memorial Weekend. Chef Bobby had just built a house on Lake St. Clair, and we were doing a barbecue. What to do, how to have a great barbecue weekend. And Bobby was talking about the meat before we got the grills going. We were talking about the scenery and getting the meat going and everything like this. This is
where does the meat go?
During a live shot with Chef Bobby on the air.
The camera
He's
is
enjoying
great.
that new grass, man.
The camera operation is spectacular.
That fresh side.
Look at my face. Look at my face.
Oh, because you can see him, but Chef Bobby can't.
Yes.
You knew what he was doing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, that Frenchie. 5, 4, 3.
Again.
Oh, we're on
Again. Play it again. I need to see it again.
So if you could wait till, so after the first time the dog is doing what he's doing, check out my face. Check out my face. Like I see it, Chef Bobby doesn't see it.
Oh man, what's his dog's name?
That's Brutus.
I'm about to say it's food related.
Brutus.
Oh God.
Look at Tom.
That's so good. Oh yeah, he's got those hips loose. Brutus is on it.
Judging his stroke.
Oh,
I had a dog back in my Jersey days. I had a dog, a Lhasa Apso. His name was Fred. I came home. He hadn't been fixed yet. I came home and I had a football, a nice leather football. It was a light. It was so beaten up that it was really easy to throw. Very soft leather.
Yeah.
I came home and he made that thing his girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
All right, the colors. It never came back.
Oh my gosh.
After Fred got done with that thing.
Oh man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
True love.
Unbelievable.
That
Dog's name
was
is
true
Fred.
love. And that became his. I took the air out of it. That's all yours, Freddie.
Yeah.
Number 3. Let me see what number 3 is. Hold on. Okay, so number 3.
Yeah.
This is during a tag board segment where we ask for viewer comments. Now, the story earlier that day, there was a news story about Jenna Jameson, adult film star, how she lost 60 pounds. And she revealed as part of this story what she ate for her meals. And so there was a tag board comment, kind of like what we do in the chat here. There was a comment about, hey, what does she eat again?
Right.
I just wanted to tell Becky what Jenna Jameson, adult film star,
Poor Dana.
is eating on her keto diet is eggs for breakfast with avocado. For lunch, it's a big salad with a grilled protein, piece of chicken, salmon. And then for dinner, according to Jenna Jameson, she eats like some cottage cheese and some nuts. You're eating...
Derek is going to play it off so good.
I had to replay that.
Yeah. Derek was going to play it off, but you couldn't do
I
it.
just love this part.
Is that great or
Look
what?
at Derek Kevra.
Oh my God.
DK is just getting it. Oh yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. That was just a walk off.
Did she know?
It was a walk-off.
Did she know?
I mean,
I feel like
afterwards,
Yeah, after.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nah, she knew in a moment. Dina's not dumb.
Yeah, right.
I feel like she knows.
So, so this next one, this is the last one I have for you today. We can do more on Monday, maybe. This last one was, when you're on the air for hours at a time, you don't really pre-read your scripts a lot. Maybe you go from block to block. Like you just block to block. You will look ahead during a commercial break. Sometimes you're out there on the set and what's in the next hour isn't even written yet. So
now you got papers like this?
No, we don't.
I know you're reading off the telestrator.
No more scripts anymore.
So you don't have anything.
We do have our computers, but when you're sitting on the in the chairs where I'm sitting for this, my computer is not on that desk. It is on a news desk.
Got it.
So I am totally blind reading a script.
Get you caught up on some news now. A suspected vandal facing charges after allegedly leaving Beavis and Butthead graffiti all over Detroit. My goodness.
My goodness.
Oh, no. Get that man.
This is great.
That's great. The B-roll is perfect.
Heron calls himself Beavis. Spelled B-B-I-S. I'm so sorry. He left his
Look at that.
on buildings and fences, even inside a supermarket. Heron actually.
Oh, look, they say 6.5.
The city has dedicated areas where they have.
Oh, they just go to the.
They
go
just
to the,
went
all
to
the way
that.
up to the news.
That was it. Then they just went to
that's
give
great.
me. I mean,
I love the Beavis. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Oh my God, it's just.
I wish we had the zip line.
No, I don't have the zip line.
People need to see the zip line.
You guys
again.
have the zip line here. I don't have the zip line.
Ricky, it was the Winter Blast, and I think it was, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
Line, yeah.
And he's downtown in Detroit. He goes on the zip line. You had to hear him. You had to hear him. He was
shrieking like
a I don't know,
like a little girl.
Like a little girl. It was like oh God, it's so funny.
Guys,
great.
All right, guys.
What a week. What a week.
Maz, give me a winner on Sunday.
Pacers. I just saw the spread went down to 6.5. Pacers win it for the ABA, baby.
Pacers. I'm going Pacers too. Go around the room.
OKC for me.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with OKC as well.
All right, Braylon's going with the Pacers too. No, I don't know.
He's going with OKC.
Yeah, he's probably going with OKC.
Even though he bet the Pacers yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
Took
stuff.
my word for it.
All right. All right, guys, that'll do it.
Hanson's going for OKC.
Have a great weekend. Go Tigers.
Hey, we'll see you Monday at Buddy's downtown.
Buddies, let's go.
Come on, get down there with us, guys.
All right.
Have a great